The other issue here too is, well, imagine that, just hypothetically imagine that you were going to try to raise your children gender neutral. Okay, so there was actually studies done on this back 30 years ago where they looked at self-professed feminist parents and self-professed non-feminist parents, and then coded their interactions blindly for gender stereotypical behavior and found no difference between the two groups. Huh. Well, and the reason for that is, you know, you think that you socialize your children entirely if you're a social constructionist. It's all top down, right? Because your child's a blank slate. But your child isn't. Your child is manifesting to a greater or lesser degree all sorts of gendered behaviors, and powerfully. And a lot of what you're doing, especially if you're a good parent, is you're reacting to what your child is manifesting as an individual. And so a lot of the socialization, that so-called the socialization, which sounds like top-down, is actually the establishment of a singular relationship between you as the parent and that individual child with their nature. And this is also reflected in the behavioral genetics literature, because what you see is that, imagine there's three sources of variation in children's behavior. There's biological, there's shared environment, so this would be the siblings. So this would be what was the same in the family for the siblings, and then what was different. And then you look at the behavioral outcome and you calculate how much was biological, how much was shared environment, and how much was non-shared environment. What you find is it's almost all biology and non-shared environment. And so people have read that to say, well, parents don't matter because there's no shared environment. But it's not the case, because what happens is, if you're a good parent, is the relationship you have with child one is significantly different than the relationship that you have with child two. Even though there may be moral presumptions that are organizing your family that are in common. The times when you're treating your children identically are almost never. Right. Almost never. That's right. Well, why
back
would you...
to Cain and Abel, right? I mean, but this
Yes.
is right. I mean, like, if God is the parent figure in that story, treating your children differentially is a way of being a good parent.
That's
if you
right.
treat your kids exactly the same, you're not being responsive to your kids, and you are teaching them that essentially there are no consequences to actions. Because your kids take different actions, right? No matter what, it's the same outcome. Well, that's not good parenting.
Right? That's almost the definition of totalitarian parenting, and it is exactly the kind of relationship that you don't want to have with anyone, right? You want all of your relationships to be individualized and particularized.